A blistering summer day in 1932, the air thick with the stench of gunpowder and hot metal. A lone figure stands not behind cover, not at a safe distance, but inches from the muzzle of a beast, a 50 caliber Browning machine gun, loaded to the brim, its barrel gleaming like a promise of hellfire. One wrong twitch, one tiny flaw, and it erupts not in controlled fury, but in a catastrophic burst that shreds flesh and bone. The man's name? Samuel Green. A forgotten gunsmith, staring death in the face, whispering to himself, "This is it. Prove it or perish." The trigger pulls. The world explodes in thunder, and in that roar, a legend is born. Flash back to the blood-soaked trenches of World War I, 1917. Europe is a graveyard, machine guns chewing men like wheat. General John Blackjack Pershing, eyes burning with desperation, slams his fist on a war room table. "We need something bigger," he growls to his aides, "something that punches through tanks, rips aircraft from the sky. Caliber 50 or bust." Enter John Moses Browning, the wizard of firearms, holed up in his Ogden, Utah workshop. His hands, calloused from decades of forging steel soles, sketch feverishly. Scaling up his trusty 30-06 design, he births a monster, the 50 caliber prototype, water-cooled, belt-fed, spitting rounds at 450 a minute, each a half-inch hammer of lead traveling faster than sound. Tested in Colt's Hartford pasture, it shreds targets, vaporizes wood. The Army's abuzz. "This changes everything," they murmur. Browning dies in 26, but his dream lives until it doesn't. By the late 20s, the prototype's promise curdles into nightmare. Early models? Unreliable as a politician's handshake. Jams everywhere. Barrels warp under heat. Bolts seize like clenched fists. In field trials, guns cook off prematurely, spraying bullets wild, nearly killing testers. The Army Ordnance boys shake their heads in Springfield Armory's echoing halls. "Scrap it!" Colonel Harlan Sanders barks during a smoke-filled briefing. "Waste of powder. The French have their Hotchkiss, Germans their MG-08. Why chase ghosts?" Budgets tighten. Post-war cuts bite deep. Engineers shrug, defeated. The 50? Doomed to the scrap heap. A brilliant idea buried in red tape and doubt. Injustice burns like a slow fuse. Browning's genius, Pershing's vision, all flushed for lack of faith. But in the shadows of that armory, amid oil stains and lathe shavings, lurks an underdog. Samuel Green. Not a general, not a patent-holding mogul, just a 40-something toolmaker from Connecticut, with wire-rim glasses slipping down a sweat-slick nose, and hands scarred from a lifetime bending metal to his will. Born in a mill town, Green apprenticed under his father, fixing flintlocks while other boys chased baseballs. By 1927, he's chief engineer at Springfield, but overlooked, underpaid, a civilian in a brass-buttoned world. "You're just a tinkerer, Sam," his boss sneers one rainy afternoon, tossing aside Green's sketches. "Stick to wrenches. Leave invention to the big shots." Green's jaw tightens. He sees it. The flaw isn't in Browning's genius. It's in the machining. Tolerance is too loose, parts grinding like teeth in a grudge match. "Give me time," he pleads, voice steady as granite. "I can fix this beast." Nights bleed into dawns. Green's basement workshop becomes a war zone of prototypes. He files extractors by lamplight, tests recoil springs till his arms scream. Dialogue echoes in his mind. Browning's ghost, whispering, "Make it sing, Sam. Make it eternal." Skeptics circle like vultures. Navy brass, hungry for anti-aircraft punch, demand results. "Your toy jammed again yesterday. Admiral Yates snaps over coffee. Pilots can't afford hesitation at 10,000 feet. Green nods, gut twisting. Failure means no 50 for fighters. No shield against Zeros or Messerschmitts. Injustice claws deeper. Green's a widower now, kids relying on his paycheck, dreams mocked as folly. "You're suicidal pursuing this," a colleague mutters. Green smiles grimly. Maybe. But better dead proving right than alive proving wrong. Tension coils like a spring. 1932. The Armory's proof range, a concrete crypt under Massachusetts skies. Green's modifications gleam. Tightened tolerances, a beefed-up bolt, an extractor filed to surgical precision. But words won't convince. Only fire. He loads a 250-round belt, armor-piercing incendiaries, each a dragon's tooth. The Army brass assembles, colonels in starched khaki, clipboards poised like guillotines. "Standard test," Sanders declares. "Fire from the flank, 50 yards out." Green shakes his head, heart hammering a war drum. "No, watch it up close. Feel its soul," murmurs ripple. "Madness! He'll blow himself sky high." Green steps forward, positions the water-jacketed beast on its tripod. Steam hisses from the barrel like a serpent's breath. His hand hovers over the spade grip. "Gentlemen," he says, voice cutting the hush like a bayonet, "if this jams, if it bursts, you'll know why it failed before. But if it sings—" He locks eyes with Sanders. It'll never stop. Suspense strangles the air. Green's pulse thunders in his ears, louder than any broadside. Inches away, the gun's maw yawns black, promising oblivion. He squeezes. Brrrr. The world vanishes in staccato apocalypse. Flames lick the muzzle. 600 rounds per minute now. Bullets howling like banshees, stitching the distant berm into oblivion. Water boils in the jacket, hissing fury. Brass casings eject in a golden blizzard, pinging hot off Green's boots. The recoil shudders the ground, vibrating up his legs like earthquake wrath. Jams? None. Burst? The barrel glows cherry red, unyielding as Green's will. 250 rounds vanish in 25 seconds, a lifetime in hellfire. Smoke clears. Green stands, untouched, glasses fogged, a ghost in the haze. The range falls silent, save for the drip of cooling metal. Sanders stumbles forward, face ashen. "My God, Sam, you stood there. Why?" Green wipes soot from his brow, voice raw but triumphant. "Because faith demands proof, and proof demands courage." The room erupts, not in cheers, but awe. Reports fly to Washington. Green's universal receiver design, adaptable for ground, air, sea, seals the deal. In 1933, the M2 Browning is born. Fixed, flexible, heavy-barreled variants from one mold. No more jams, no more doubts. Justice dawns in thunderclaps of war. W2 erupts, and Ma Deuce, the pilot's pet name, mounts B-17 wings, shreds Luftwaffe fighters over the channel. In the Pacific, P-51 Mustangs with 850s turn the tide at Midway. Iwo Jima, Zeppelins of lead raining doom on carriers. Korea's frozen hills, Vietnam's jungles. She speaks, 100 years later, from Humvees in deserts, drones in skies. Over 3 million built, unjammable, unbreakable. Green's fix? It saved 10,000 pilots, won skies for freedom. The underdog, once mocked, etched in steel. And the inspiration? Listen close. In a world of naysayers, where dreams jam on doubt's belt, remember Samuel Green. A tinkerer with scarred hands, facing explosion's kiss to birth eternity. Your fight, your invention, your stand, might be the proof the world needs. Risk it. Stand close. Let it roar. Because legends aren't born in safety. They're forged in the fire you refuse to fear. The 50 never jammed again. And neither will you.